All right, folks, welcome back to episode 7. We are back, and we are back better than ever. Rob, how you doing, and how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was good. But I want to start off by saying, is it like Christmas Eve for you with the whole Tiger interview tomorrow morning?
It is. It is.
We should probably say when we're recording this. We're recording this on a Monday.
Yeah, right. This has never been done before. If we didn't do Thursday, it's always been typically a Sunday night.
Right.
It is Monday. So yeah, the release of his interview came out this morning, and then he's got a presser tomorrow from the Hero. So did you watch the interview at all?
No, I just caught the snippets on Twitter. It
was unbelievable. He almost comes off as like a different person. I think it's probably because of Charlie. I mean, he looks so much more happier.
No, yeah, the snippets that I caught, like, some of his comments were, he felt like more at peace with everything.
Yeah, exactly. And he's still like, dude, the insight like on his mindset like throughout the whole thing is bananas. That's what I found the most interesting. Like, he said literally, like, within the first week of the accident happening, he's laying in his hospital bed, and he was wondering if he still had his hands, because he said at one point it was kind of 50-50 whether he'd walk out of there with a leg.
Right. Yeah. So I saw that.
He had people throwing stuff at him while he was in his hospital bed, catching stuff and making sure he still had his hands. And he said,
"No kidding."
Yeah. And then he said when he got home, that was the worst part, just like looking out the window. But then he talks about his progression from like the hospital bed to the wheelchair to the crutches to just going outside and like laying in the grass
for an hour. I saw that. That was pretty funny.
And then he said he was starting to hole putts, but then he forgot about he had to grab the ball out of the hole. So he made his guy fill all the holes with sand. And then he even increased the length of his putter so he didn't have to bend over as much because of his back.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Like, the guy he's absolutely insane. He's a complete savage. I mean, you could tell just from, like, the interview how passionate and, like, addicted he is. But then on the flip side, it was, like, a softer side of him talking about, like, the relationships with the younger guys and, like, how that means more to him. And,
yeah,
it was fun seeing those guys playing the Ryder Cup and getting texts from guys and guys stopping over. And then he talked about Charlie and, what Charlie is currently going through. I guess Charlie's a little bit of a hothead himself on the course. So basically he was saying like, hey, I like that, you're passionate and I want you to be fiery. I want it to be there, but there's certain spots for that.
Yeah.
He was talking about him taking a 9 on a par 5, and he was like, those are the holes you should be birdieing, blah, blah, blah. So it was unbelievable. But
yeah, like I said, I saw Kyle Porter's like highlight tweets of it was pretty good.
Yeah. So actually, now that you mentioned that, I wasn't going to bring it up because I didn't know if we were going to go that route with the airing of this episode. So I was going to hold off, but I'm actually pretty pumped you mentioned it.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh man, Tom's going to be all giddy tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm fiery. I'm drinking a coffee right now. Speaking of, you got a bum fire going on in your garage over there or what?
Oh yeah, man. It's freezing out here. I keep myself warm.
For people listening on Anchor or either Apple Podcasts, there's just flames continuously shooting up on the screen. And
it's this gray little clay that you fill up with pretty much 100% alcohol and just burns like a little bonfire for you.
Is it called the bonfire? I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I think you're right. I got it as a gift.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works, man.
I mean, it's just going to get colder, and we got to keep on doing this podcast. So I got to figure out ways to stay warm.
Yeah. So how was Thanksgiving?
It was good. Good food. Good time with family. Can't complain. Had a bunch of stuffing. So I was a happy man. How about yourself?
Not that stovetop shit, right?
Not that stovetop shit. Nope.
Did you have your leftover sandwich?
I'm ashamed to say this, but no, I didn't. I had two of the legs and I was cashed out, man. I was full.
Too full the next day?
Yeah.
That's how I was. I don't even think I ate until like probably 5 p.m. the next day.
Yeah, it was definitely overdid it.
Oh yeah.
It's funny, my wife's side, they don't like the dark meat, so they get, I get first dibs at that, and I just obviously go to town. So
I'm always in between. Some years I like it, some years I don't. I guess it's just how I'm feeling that day. I'm sure you're aware of this. I'm not. I'm a big. I don't like turkey. I think it stinks. I think it should be replaced with either like a steak or a roast.
So you're on Monday Q's, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love it.
That they actually did look good. The little steaks with the butter on top.
Yeah, I mean, so here I just came across this video like 2 weeks ago, and honestly, it's the best thing. It's the best debate to turkey I've ever heard in my entire life. So this guy, I think his name's John or Joe Morgan. Anyways, lawyer, put like a 6.5 minute video together about why turkey is shit, and that's what he says. So the best excuse he had, and it makes so much sense. So he said, what other day of the year do I come in my house, my wife or anybody that I know, if I've been invited to dinner at a friend's house, have they ever made turkey? He's like, no. He's like, when have you ever gone to a restaurant and ordered a turkey? And he's like, no. He's like, that's why turkey is shit. He's like, because we eat it once a year, we think it's awesome, and he's like, it's not.
It's pretty good.
I mean, those are all valid points.
I mean, very valid.
So yeah, I'm off the turkey train, man. Whatever. I'll mess with it if it's like deep fried, something kind of unique, crazy like that. But other than that, I'm a big ham guy.
Oh, ham's the best.
Oh, it's awesome.
I take the ham bone and make some pea soup.
Ooh, I don't know about pea soup, but I like the ham bone. I like that move.
Oh yeah,
getting a little stock from the ham bone.
There you go. Yeah.
Or I like cutting it up the next morning and making a ham and cheese omelet.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got fed there, big fella.
So you had a good one too?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a really good one. Like you said, good company, good food, good drinks, a lot of good drinks, a lot of great.
What was the drink of choice for Thanksgiving?
I was on I'm gonna butcher this so bad. What are the seltzers like? Topo Chico?
Oh yeah, Topo Chico.
That's
the water I was having. Yeah, they got right.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good. I've never had them.
Yeah.
And then late night at the in-laws, I was rocking a Tito's and Sprite with a splash of cran.
There you go.
Yeah. So the drinks were flowing.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Kids running around, and yeah, I mean, if you don't get jacked up for Thanksgiving or the holidays, something's wrong.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's especially after the last year and a half. So it's good to be around everybody.
For sure. Speaking of, did you catch any of the match?
So I caught the thirst trap prior of Bryson, and then I did see. I was doing mostly Christmas lights outside, but I did catch the par 5 where they caught Brooks just like rolling his eyes. I was dying laughing, but I only, like I said, I was following on Twitter. Wasn't really inside that much watching it.
So I think I only missed maybe 2 holes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it didn't go well for Bryce. Whether that was his game or his shit talking, or it weighed heavily in Brooks's favor. And I'm not even a Brooks guy, and I'm not really a Bryson guy either. Whatever, I get it. But yeah, I mean, Bryson stunk. And then on the flip side of that, Brooks looked really, really good, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I saw because I did catch what he say the next time he's playing is April, his little comeback.
Yeah. And then the best part too is Brooks threw a dart on a par three, like short sided, in between like the water and the stick. And like, I mean, there's not much room there. And Bryson's like, where's this at on the PGA Tour? And Brooks is like, this is my major, remember? So yeah, Brooks kind of just owned him all day. Bryson was just throwing out excuse after excuse, and just kind of seemed like a whiny little bitch. And even Charles was ripping on him. Charles and Phil in the booth were hysterical, man.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Yeah, Phil's definitely got a career in broadcasting.
Yeah.
He even said like the next day, he tweeted it out like, something about Bryson getting a beat down from Brooks, and then basically saying like how Phil is good in small doses and that he needs to just like tame it down. And it's totally true. I mean, the guy just nonstop is just talking the entire time.
Yeah, I saw some of the how PGA does the Instagram posts about their tweets and their quotes. Look pretty funny.
Yeah. So here's the thing though. I saw it catching a lot of slack or a lot of flack. Your boys no laying up. I just don't get even like all these golf accounts. Like, who gives a shit? I mean, it's entertaining. It's golf when there's no golf on.
Right.
I just don't get all the hate. I mean, I get like, it was kind of promoted as like a wrestling match, so to speak. But like I said, it was something to watch. It was something to do. It was fun. People were saying the course was trash. Brooks even said like, well, maybe he had to say this, but course looked insane.
Yeah, I mean, looked beautiful.
Yeah, so I just don't get. There was a lot of like, there was just a lot of bitching on social media, and I don't really get that, especially when some of these accounts people go to like to get information, and I'm not saying that match is building the game by any means, but it definitely has the incentive to get into the game and follow along with.
Yeah.
What is this? This was the fifth match, I think.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it's just entertainment. I mean, that's what you got to go in as.
Right. And then people were talking about how just it wasn't like too serious, and I'm like, do you expect these guys to like act like it's a major? Like,
right.
I'm sure they definitely deep down want to win, but like
beat each other. Yep.
Right. But they're not going to be like staring and looking over putts like it's a major. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Especially when you have a mic in your ear and you got somebody like Charles and Phil. Like Phil was talking in Bryson's backstroke every single stroke. So like, if that's the case, like you can't have those guys have mics on them, but that's also the best part about it. Like,
yeah,
Brooks and his brother, their caddy talk during the match was awesome. So I think overall, for me, I loved it. I mean,
for you, it did what it was supposed to do. It entertained you, and
yeah. I mean, I didn't want anything more or anything less. It is what it is, and
I mean, they raised money for charity, so it's all good.
Yeah, I think they raised $3 million.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. I mean, there was one hole. It was actually, this is when Bryson was getting out of control. It was one of the.
Was it the longest drive hole?
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna hit another one. Just charge me 20,000. And then Brooks is like, I'll hit another one too. He's like, let's go 50. And he's like, done. So they were raising a ton of money, which is great.
Oh yeah.
But overall, I think it was cool. I would like to see, maybe something in the future with like, I think the team format was cool, like what Brady and Manning did. I think that would bring a lot more interest to the game. Whether it's another two NBA players or two NFL players or whatever. Maybe this time they do two MLB players or two NHL players.
Sure.
So, But yeah, I mean, I like it. I think our match, is right up there with it.
Yeah, right. Well, hopefully there's some good matches come the AZ trip.
Yeah, well, I don't know if people know this. Our match stemmed from what they're doing now.
Right.
Like the match the first one was what, Tiger Phil?
Yeah, that was on the Friday. Yeah, Friday after Thanksgiving. Yep.
Yeah. So we actually created our match after that. I said, how cool would it be? And actually, we didn't know what the success was that was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, it was like during the height of COVID.
Right.
But he was at home, and then after that first match aired, people were going bonkers in the DMs. They're like, "Hey, man, you need to keep doing this. It gives us something to watch." So
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, oh, we think we're onto something here. So
yep.
Yeah, the match has been fun for us. Obviously, it's nothing like the PGA Tour match, but no, we're trying to put a ton of matches together for AZ. Probably have a group, Scotch game and stuff like that. We'll see what we can come up with. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of golf game, so in episode 7 here, we're just going to do a brief, kind of a brief rundown of what Rob and I, have been experiencing with the recent golf boom in like the last year and a half, and same with you guys. You've obviously been it's experiencing it as well from the greens fee side of it.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Rob a couple weeks ago while scouting for 2022, and a lot of these GMs and head pros have already told me, they're like, prices are going up, and I couldn't believe it. And we went through this last year, and we're like, dude, this is nuts. But there's a couple things that that come with that. So it's kind of simple, but it's also hard to understand. So like utilization rate, essentially demand. If that's there, and these guys can get it,
yeah, right,
they're going to get it.
Yeah, of course.
And that's part of the reason too that, like, I remember last year I had some bozo in my DMs who was like, if we're playing Harborside, we should not be paying these rates. And I'm like, Harborside on the weekday gave us like a $30 discount. Like,
right.
And it's weird because a lot of the bigger, more notorious clubs, I won't say any other names besides that, they're always more willing to work with us.
Sure.
And
yeah.
It's, that goes to show, why they're successful.
Right.
So, but on the flip side of that, it's like, a lot of guys will straight up tell me, they'll be like, well, why would I need to discount your guys? I'm getting this play no matter what.
Right.
So you guys, CGT members, have to understand, like, technically they don't need to give a shit. The fact that, we've grown over the last 3 years and brought them business in a certain unique way that isn't on a one day, like a typical outing.
Right.
That's primarily why. And we have obviously good relationships with these guys, but from a business standpoint, like, they don't need to be discounting anybody because they're getting people to pay exactly what they're asking for, no matter what.
Right. It's, it's fortunately the way it has been for the last almost 2 years now.
Right.
So, and it's frustrating for us because, we try to make it easier for the guys and,
right. And that's not to say we're not getting discounts. We're for sure getting discounts. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of insight on what it's like talking to these GMs, trying to negotiate rates. It's, sure, I could say, well, we had X amount of players last year, and this is what we, expect to bring you next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, they don't need to discount anybody, which is
right.
crazy to think about. And then on the flip side of that, check out, from like the golf club standpoint. I mean, next year, I've already talked to our guys at White Mountain and a couple other guys. Dude, equipment next year is going to be through the roof.
Well, I mean, just those Cleveland wedges in last week compared to what we did last year. Yep. It's just, the zip cord to the, what are the new ones now?
The full face.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Yep.
To think that a Cleveland wedge could be $160 or whatever it is, when a Vokey, was 149 ish. It's crazy what that market's doing.
I remember, literally, I was thinking about this the other day. I remember specifically buying a Vokey like 5 years ago for $1.15.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So they told me the new TaylorMade driver, the 2022 model, is going to be $600. And then the set of irons is going to be like, I think he said like $1,450 or something like that, around $1,500. Like it's crazy.
Are they going to guarantee straight balls?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I got fitted last year.
Right.
When things were still a little high, but it's getting crazy, man. And that's part of like, what we're talking about is, yeah, prices are going up and greens fees are going up, but people are still willing to pay, and that's why they could do it. And then on the flip side of that, you got guys like sub 70 who are straight to the consumer.
Oh yeah,
and they must be absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously working their tail off.
Right. Well, I mean you're a sub 70 guy.
Huge sub 70 guy. I'm about 2 clubs short of being a full staffer.
You got the sub 70 bag yet?
No, I do not. That might be the next purchase.
I'm almost positive I saw there. It was black. It was mostly all black, and then just like the 70 was so opposite of this hat. It looked super clean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they got to be crushing it. Obviously, a local business. If you guys haven't heard of Sub 70, I would definitely check them out.
They're just in Sycamore.
Yeah, they're out of Sycamore. We actually have a big surprise for you guys. We're not going to unveil that until next episode, but it has to do with Sub 70.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep it at that. But yeah, so overall, golf, the boom has just been crazy, man. The article that I read, check this out. A third of golf courses over the U.S. raised their greens fees 11% this past year.
In the past year, okay.
In the past year, which that's wild. Yeah. Mainly, big metropolitan cities, New York, Chicago. It's unbelievable to me that they could do that. And then, it's similar to like gas. Like that's why I never look at it, because what are you going to do? Not get gas?
Right.
So it's like one of those.
Oh yeah, I always sit there and try to break it down per hole, what each hole costs.
I've never thought about it like that.
Oh yeah, it's like whatever you do, the rounded for 36. If you're walking, I just say it's $2 a hole.
That's interesting. I've never thought about that.
It's almost like
I've done that with balls.
There you go. But I sit there and it was funny. We were talking over at Thanksgiving, like how you miss playing blackjack, right? Going to the casino or going to Vegas. And, if you could sit at a table for a couple hours, obviously you always want to win, but like to sit there and just get to play, keep on playing and on the same, never having to re-ante or not re-ante, but put in more money, you're obviously paying for your entertainment. If you can get entertainment out of it, I just equate that to golf, right? So it's $2 a hole or whatever it may be. And it's just, it does stink how much they're raising prices, but like you said, like gas, it's just it's something we're going to do no matter what they charge,
Yeah. Which is great. So now to your point, and I'm okay with this because the deeper that I dove into this article, it definitely made sense. If they're charging more and they're bringing on more staff, aka maintenance and clubhouse personnel, sure, then great. But if the courses are staying in the current condition and just charging to charge, that's bullshit.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you.
At least bring on more staff to bring up the face of the course or
have a cart girl or whatever driving around.
Right. I mean, as long as they're not pulling like a Water's Edge charging $70 in March,
Right.
And not doing anything to the course, then that's a different story. But if you're charging more and you have these, you have these additional staff members and, it basically the flow of why you're paying more, if it makes sense, then sure, by all means.
Right.
But if it's kind of the same bullshit,
yeah,
if it's a 6-hour round and blah blah blah, like
crappy greens,
chopped up greens, then it gets a little, it's like, come on.
Right.
But so that's kind of what we've been dealing with the last pretty much 2 years, and now going into year 3. Luckily, like I said, we were kind of able to establish these relationships early on. So that's definitely on our side. And then obviously with the continued growth of the CGT and, the testimonials that we get from the GMs and the head pros, and then our guys too. We get a lot of compliments on our guys. So that's great to hear, as always. You guys got a great group of guys, real friendly. They took care of our staff members, stuff like that. We love to hear that stuff. So,
well, I mean, like you said, like to build a good relationship. I mean, eventually I feel like this bubble is going to burst, right? It's going to, it might not be soon, but what I'm getting at is if we build a relationship with these courses, we're not going to go anywhere, right? We're going to continue this year in and year out,
right,
for many more years to come, so we're going to be the consistent, guys there every year.
Right. Yeah. I get what you're saying. So I think what you're getting at is what we're seeing is a lot of new golfers, and eventually these courses are going to have to rely on the golfers that have been doing it for, right. Yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah.
And so real quick, what this GM said to me a couple weeks ago kind of resonated with me. It was actually pretty interesting. He said for the last, 20 years, the ball has always been in the golfer's court in terms of price. And he's like, you see it in real estate, you see it in other markets. He's like, the ball is finally in the golf course's hands.
Right.
And that
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of eye opening, and it made sense. And I was like, he's right. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. We just wanted to shed some light on that. And then, as always, are you ready for the top 3?
Yeah, give it to me.
I have a really good one.
Okay.
I want to know what your top 3 golf movies are.
Oh, that's actually a good one. Dang. It's a toss up. You got Tin Cup. You got The Greatest Game Ever Played. And then you have Happy Gilmore. And then Bagger Vance. Shit. I gotta go. Always a good laugh. I gotta go Happy Gilmore 3. I'll go The Greatest Game Ever Played 2 and Tin Cup number 1.
Wow. We have the same top 3, different order.
Really?
Yeah. Honorable mention goes to Bagger Vance for sure.
Yeah.
In the 3-hole.
Oh, Bobby Jones too. Damn.
Yeah. So after I say this, we're going to talk about a movie that's not on either of our list, and I'm happy that it wasn't on your list. But we'll get into that.
Okay.
So my 3-hole is The Greatest Game Ever Played, and then the 2-hole I got Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
And then in the 1-hole I got Tin Cup as well.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there's a couple honorable mentions. A couple shady. Have you ever seen? So there's Tommy Armour, and then what's the other one with Turtle from Entourage is actually in it.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's one of the golfers. So
Come on.
yeah, he's a golfer in the movie. It's
That's funny
hilarious.
you say that, Raj. Could we just start that over again? But go ahead. I never knew that Turtle was in a golf movie.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. So it's the guy's a complete hothead. Um, his father, who was carrying his bag during one of the events, after his son like blew up, snapped a club, the dad just dropped his bag and walked off.
I never seen that.
Really?
No.
I'll have to send it to you. I'll have to Google it. I can't think of it right now.
God, you got to tweet that one out so everybody can know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean the movie is not great, but it's definitely like watchable.
Maybe that scene's on YouTube. Maybe find a clip of that.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, I think greatest game ever played is phenomenal.
Oh, I never even realized that was Bill Paxton either.
Yeah,
That's a great movie.
yeah. Happy is just Happy Gilmore. I mean, is unbelievably funny. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, whether you want to be like snobby and be like, oh, that's not, it's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Go to your happy place.
Yeah, I mean, even just like the one-liners, meet me at the ninth green at night.
Right. Oh shit, Caddyshack. What the?
Oh. Okay. That's the movie I'm talking about.
Oh God. What about Caddyshack 2? I can't believe we didn't say Caddyshack. Oh man.
I purposely didn't say Caddyshack.
I know. Wow.
Do you want to sub it out?
No. No, I'm good with my top three. I just, now I'm thinking all these golf movies that
This is a super hot take, and I might get the clown emoji in this week's top three with this hot take.
What's this hot take?
Caddyshack is overrated.
What?
Yes,
You think it's overrated?
it's overrated.
I mean, so are you the type of person that thinks Animal House is overrated?
No, I just think because it's older, maybe. Like I think Happy Gilmore is funnier than Caddyshack.
I did. Yeah, I'll give you that. I do like Happy Gilmore, obviously more because I didn't say Caddyshack. It didn't even come to my mind.
If it was like more modern and like the picture was more modern, I would probably be okay with it.
Yeah.
But like some of it's just kind of cheesy. Plus, I'm not a big fan. Believe this. I mean, you could probably believe this, but I'm not a big fan of Bill Murray.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So
not a Ghostbusters fan either?
love Ghostbusters, but he's not as like slow in that movie.
Right.
So yeah,
That's a good top three question. I didn't even think about that. That was good.
yeah, I'm surprised. We had pretty identical top threes.
Yeah, like you said though, greatest game ever played. Tin Cup. I could watch Tin Cup if I put on the TV and it's on, no matter where it's at, I'm gonna finish it.
No matter what. It's just one of the. It's up there with, like Con Air, Die Hard,
Zombieland. I could do that with Zombieland.
it was Zombieland. What is that?
You never seen Zombieland?
No.
Oh, come on.
Are you into like sci-fi and that stuff?
Yeah, well, sort of. Sure, I'm a huge comic book nerd, but yeah,
I could get down with that.
Con Air though, good pull on the Con Air. Love Con Air.
Yeah, Con Air's unbelievable.
Yes.
Like
Gone in 60 seconds. Let's just make it a Nicolas Cage podcast.
I was literally just gonna say. So one of my favorite hungover movies ever is National Treasure. It's a great movie. Whenever it's on, I watch it. It's unbelievable.
National Treasure is your hungover movie?
I mean, if it's on, I'm watching it.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
It's so good.
It's awesome. The Rock is awesome.
Yeah, The Rock. I mean, back in our day, I'm hoping you remember this. I'm pretty sure you will. But like back in the day, if you were a kid and you were watching TNT and Big Trouble in Little China came on, you were watching. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Oh, that's just awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bringing the memories back here.
What a great top three.
Yeah, what an episode.
What an episode on a Monday.
Yeah. And next week's episode is going to be just as good. We have a huge special guest coming on for episode 8.
Who would that be?
Brian Tweed. If you guys, especially in the Chicagoland area, if you guys are unfamiliar with Brian Tweed, I would go to Twitter right now and I would search at Brian Tweed 16. So Brian Tweed is a local advisor in the Chicagoland area for Golf Pass, and his big thing is like he's on the quest to play 1,000 courses before he dies. The guy he plays a ton of tracks throughout the Chicagoland area, as well as out of state. And he's always tweeting his tweeter, like top 20 of 2021, his top 40 out of state of 2021. So he plays a ton of golf. I guarantee he's probably played more courses in this area times 3 than we have.
Right.
So that'll be super cool to get his take. We're just going to be talking Chicagoland golf. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it is.
So look forward to that. That's going to be for us. That's going to be this upcoming Thursday. For you guys, that won't be until
It'll drop next Friday.
Yeah, a couple Fridays. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah. Until then, Rob, we'll see you in the fairway.
See you in fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.